What is going on, guys? In here from CZeroMedia. In today's episode, we're going to be installing more Skillard goodies on the 280Z. So a couple things that's going to be installed today. One is very much OEM and JDM. This is the front turn signal 240Z style. It's clear as opposed to the traditional amber color. The reason why I didn't want to go with amber is because the whole car is orange. I didn't want orange here and orange on the car. I wanted to do white to go with the white headlamp. Over here I have Skillard's turn signal installation plate. I'll explain that in a little bit. And I got over here this beautifully laser etched Fairlady Z logo threshold from Skillard as well, and I'll show you how this is all installed in today's episode. But before we get to the installation, let me show you where the car sits today, because it is officially back from the paint shop 100%. Last time I got the car back, it was kind of half done, but now it is 100% done in terms of paint. So let me just walk you through around the car real quick to show you where we are with the car right now and what's gonna be updated in future episodes. And here is the Z, guys. It's coming together nicely, but definitely not complete yet. If you notice, this is the Dapper headlight that I installed in the last episode, the V1s. These make a huge difference in terms of driving at night. And I was surprised on how many people noticed my aftermarket headlights and gave me compliments on the headlights too. It's not one of those halo fancy ones, so it's not lit up or anything, but this really gives the car a unique look because it's a retro glass housing with projector light inside. So that's cool. It came out great. It's a functional aesthetic upgrade. I love that. And if you notice, I have a bumper now. This is the whole mess of a situation I was talking about in the past videos. I got the carbon fiber 240Z lower valance installed with a Skillard grill and Skillard bumper delete kit installed as well. This is what's called a bumper delete kit by Skillard, which has been painted matte black to go with the overall theme of the car. If you notice on stock 240s and 60s and 80s also, you have a little bumper up top. A lot of people don't like it because it's ugly and bulky and they get rid of it. But what happens if you get rid of this bumper is that you're gonna have mounting points, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts around the headlight bucket connecting the fender here. That's gonna be exposed, and that's ugly. So what Skillard makes is a bumper delete kit, which is a plate with M5 bolts sticking out of it. You just put a nut front back and you get this flush look, nice and clean. And now that the bumper delete kits are in, the car is almost finished. But I feel like it's looking a little bit like an Aston Martin with the silver grille, so I'm leaning towards maybe painting the grille black or even installing a carbon fiber bumper. That's gonna be aftermarket piece that's gonna run down from side to side like that. On the back here, I got the fender flares back and it is officially painted. This is painted gloss black and I like how it came out. I installed the rubber trim on the side so it does not scratch the paint on the vehicle side. For the front, I still need to chop up this freshly painted fender and then adjust the height, put the front fender flares on it, which is also gloss black sitting over there, and the body work will be basically finished. So now I'm gonna show you some of the parts that's sitting around the garage that's gonna be installed in future episode. Over here, I just got this. This is a side skirt for the 280Z I got from Skillard. And as you can imagine, yeah, it's a side skirt. It's gonna go on the side. This is a subtle version. He has the aggressive one and a subtle one. And this is the subtle one, which is also powder coated black. It's almost like a wrinkle black texture to it. Came out beautiful. Super excited to install that. But I'm not gonna install that until I install the front fender flares because I don't think it's gonna flow well right now without the front fender flares. It's just gonna be sticking out here on the side. So that's to come in the future. Over here, I got these metal fender liners made by Skillard because when you go wide body and when you chop up the fender flares, you can no longer run stock fender liners. So what Skillard makes is these nice metal fender liners that's gonna be protecting inside your fenders so you don't get any more rust on your car. I also have from Skillard a nice subtle front tow hook that's just gonna stick out just ever so slightly from the front bumper there in the grill. I got a splitter. This has been sitting here for ages. That's going to be installed also from Skillard. It's been sitting here forever because I couldn't figure out the height of the splitter without the actual bumper mounted on the car. At the time when I purchased the splitter, I had no idea what I was getting myself into in terms of mounting the bumper by recreating the original headlight bracket mounting locations. So in the last episode, I installed the Dapper B1 Classic headlights, which is awesome, I love it. But after that video, I got in touch with Ben from Dapper Lightning, and we kind of partnered up. By the way, coupon code C0 if you want discounts on your Dapper Lightning products, and he sent me these. First of all, he sent me a bunch of goodies. Life is better with light. Bunch of shirts, bunch of brochures, and whatnot. This is their latest and greatest LED 7 headlamp with the modern halo option. Check that out. Yeah, that's gonna look sweet on the car. I can't wait to install it. It's gonna go in there, something like that. So it's just gonna give the Z more of a modern look, more of a bang. I wasn't so crazy about the halo ring look, but these are modern halo, what they call. So instead of a traditional ring that goes around the headlight, which I don't really like, you get these LED pieces, individual pieces that will be lit up. Yeah, so here's an example of what a traditional halo looks like. It's just a ring, right? I'm really looking forward to installing that. I also got taillights, LED taillights for 240Z taillights that I have. These are the programmable sequential LED taillights, which means it's got like 20 different options, sequences that I can program into the LED taillight so I can be a racer on the streets. And lastly, I have here Mishimoto Radiator for more cooling. I haven't really had any cooling issues with car so far, so I've been kind of putting that off. I wanted to focus on the bodywork first. For the first time in my life, I'm focused on the look of the car and the functionality of the car, should I say. But we're gonna get to today's episode, which is installing these thresholds and installing these front turn signals. So which one should we start with first? Let's do the easy one, the super easy one, the threshold. So this is a threshold, door threshold. Let me just show you where that goes. Put this on my billion Amazon packages. So it replaces this ugly old OEM looking threshold that goes around the side. What I like about the one Skillard makes is that you can have a logo in it. In my case, I have the Fairlady Z, and what this should allow me to do is have that orange contrast behind it, or I can even paint this area black so the Fairlady Z logo is black behind it. I'm gonna see how I like it after I mount this, but it's just gonna give my Z a little bit of class, a little bit of a fanciness, little bit of extra smile when I open up the door and I see the Fairlady Z logo on it. So installation should be pretty easy. I just need to remove these screws. I think there's 3 on the side, 3 up top. Remove it and see how that looks like. And one thing I forgot to show you is that Skillard in all their products include this nicely labeled hardware kit. So in case your old hardware, nuts and bolts are rusted, like this one up here, you don't have to worry about getting a new hardware yourself. It'll save you a trip to the hardware store. Just like that, it's in. That was super easy. The holes, as I expected, all lined up nicely, so I should have no problem installing this. I like the 90-degree curvature that this comes with, and it really gives the car a futuristic look. Now the only thing is, I might paint this part black or put something black under it so that the Fairlady Z logo stands out a little more, because as it stands, the orange car, orange door frame area versus the orange logo doesn't really stand out. So I'm gonna play with the coloring right now to see what I like the most. Alright guys, so I decided to paint it. And I never thought I'll say this, but I'm gonna be plastic dipping my 280Z. And the reason why I'm plastic dipping it is because, as you know, these things can be peeled off. It's reversible. So if I don't like the black look, I can just peel it off, bring it back to stock, and if I ever decide to sell the car and the next owner wants to remove it, they can do that. So this can be peeled off. I'm just gonna paint it off and see what that looks like. One tip when using plasti dip is you wanna layer it thick. Do not just run like a 1 coat or even 2 coats, because when you do that and when it's thin like a regular spray paint, it doesn't peel off because it's too thin for you to peel it. There's not enough material to stick to each other. So when you're using plasti dip, make sure to overcoat it. Guys, it looks weird. It's like a black block in the middle, but that's okay. That's only part Fairlady Z is going to cover. So that's that. And what I've been doing now is putting these double-sided tapes, sometimes folded in, to give it additional height. Not so much for sticking purposes, adhesion purposes, but also for cushioning, because I don't want this piece rubbing on the body, scratching the paint, right? So that's that. I'm gonna peel all this off, mount it, tap it in with the self-dressing screws here. Alright guys, now the threshold has been installed, the plasti dip has dried. Let me show you what it looks like. Ooh, how's that? I don't know how well this will show on camera with the reflection and whatnot, but I'm glad I went with the black. It looks classy, it looks fancy, it looks expensive. It definitely added a nice little touch to the Z. One thing I want to mention is that I did not use this bolt right in the center because I feel like it was obstructing the view. Not a big deal, because I used double-sided tape on the inside and everything's super secure. And to be honest, you could probably get away with using 2 bolts on the outside, 2 bolts on this side, just 4 bolts holding it together. I just happen to like this look better, and I think it came out great. As for the fitment, and I don't know how Skillar does this, because I already have problem drilling center punching holes correctly. All the pre-drilled holes on the metal lined up beautifully. I mean, if you look here in the center one, it is dead on with the body of the car. Very high quality, very impressive craftsman work, and this is what you get when you order parts from Skillard. So very happy with that. Now I'm going up to the front finally to show you how the front blinker is going to be mounted. Alright, so over here I got a brand new clear turn signal for 240Z bumper OEM from Japan, straight shipped from my homeland. I just happened to find this online in one of the auction sites, messaged the guy in Japanese obviously and negotiated a little bit, but even then this thing costed a couple $100. This is the most expensive piece of plastic I ever purchased in my life. So if you remember, 280Z cars have turn signals in here, which is more flat. That is why I have installed the 280Z, 240Z conversion front grille by Skillard. And today, because I now have a 240Z low valance with 240Z grille, should I say, I can install 240Z turn signal. Usually this is orange, but I like the clear look, as I said before, and it gets mounted right up in here. Don't worry about the harness. But the issue with installing this as is that the 2 bolts on the left and right side here, with the nut that needs to come off and be mounted from the inside, is way too close to the edge of the lower valance. Can you see that? Like the inner edge of the hole here, this edge here, is literally sitting against the bolt when you line this up. There's just simply not enough material for the nut to grab onto the bumper, both on the outside and on the inside. Can you see that? Mounting the turn signal with that little bit of material after drilling a hole in it is still doable, but it's not very supportive for one, and it's also very difficult because it might slide out. And then last thing you want is your $300 whatever turn signal sliding out on the highway and just destroying it. So what Skillard makes is this little bracket. What this does, and don't worry, I got this protective film on the turn signal so it's not scratching anything, but I'm gonna put it here just in case. What this does is it would sit behind the lower valance in order to hold this entire piece from the back. So this piece I feel like should have existed from factory. I'm not sure if it's part of like original 240Z bumpers, but I don't have that. This is carbon fiber, this is aftermarket. If you're planning on installing a 240Z turn signal, get one of these because it will save you a lot of time, headaches, down the road. So here I just gave a quick bend. It's a thin piece of metal, so it's easy to bend one of these, and you can just see that it'll fit right on, just like that. So I'm gonna kind of crawl under the car now and try to fit this. Okay guys, check it out. It's done, it's finished, looks great. I feel like the car is finally coming together. Check that out. I love how the car looks. For now, I'm gonna rock it the way it is. The one issue I do have though is the connector coming out of the 240Z turn signal. It does not mate with the 280Z turn signal plug, so I'm gonna have to create an adapter because I don't want to mess with the original harness. I like the way the car looks right now. I do have the Aston Martin look going up front. I feel like over time, once I put the splitter on, the fender flares on, I might change it up again by getting that carbon fiber bumper piece I was talking about earlier. For now though, I'm gonna leave it the way it is, get used to the look, see how I like it, and go from there. So thanks again for watching the video guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next episode because I have tons of mods coming up as you already saw in this episode. So see you again. Thanks for watching. Peace.